There we go. All right. Hey, everyone. My name is Julia Sotas. For many of you, this will maybe your first introduction to me and the tools of access. And for many of you, I have known you for years and years and years and years. So we've got all different fields of expertise with access consciousness. This is going to be an introductory class based on a book that was written by Gary Douglas. We're going to go for about 45 minutes based on the energy. And I do invite your questions. I'm not going to be able to take everyone's questions just because we don't have a whole bunch of time. But let me tell you a little bit about access consciousness, who I am, and what access has taught me about money, and what I have taught myself about money, and what I now facilitate others through with regards to money. I started access when I was in university, and I absolutely fell in love with these tools. It was love at first sight. And I had been searching, even since I was a child, I had been looking for just ways beyond this reality. I knew that the things that I lay awake at night dreaming about had to be real, or else I wouldn't be dreaming about them. I knew that. And I went through my days just constantly asking the question of like, okay, if I know this, then what do I have to do to make this my life? And I always had this underlying point of view. I would always ask this question. It was just something I always seemed to know. And it was like, what's the best way that this can turn out? And that was the words that I had for it at the time. I knew that if I asked the universe for the best way that something could turn out, that it would turn out the best way. I don't know how I knew it. I didn't read it in a book. I didn't learn it anywhere. I just knew that there was a way to get the best possible results to show up. And then when I came across access, I was so grateful. I just fell in love immediately. And I called my dad, and I'm like very enthusiastic person. And I probably was like more like kind of crazy enthusiastic at the time than I am now. Now I'm a lot more smooth enthusiastic. But I called my dad and I said, Dad, Mom sent me a radio show from Access Consciousness, and it's the best thing ever. And my dad said, so then it's like mediocre? And I was like, hey! And my dad and Gary Douglas have been amazing role models to me with regards to money. I had an awesome start with regards to money thanks to my dad. My dad has stacks and stacks of financial books. He's read every investing book under the sun. He subscribed to 6 newspapers and Money Sense magazine. He is the most well-read, brilliant man I know. He didn't do formal schooling after high school, just a little bit of university to do farming. And he dropped out. He said, I could teach these guys how to farm. But he is self-taught. He has read so many books, and he really gave me this space not to be afraid of money. And I think that that's one of the things that most of us is stopping most people. And it was, I was intimidating money too. And it wasn't until my dad had said these things growing up, and I never listened. It was just my dad. Nobody listens to their dad. And when I came to Access Consciousness, and Gary Douglas started saying all the same things. And I was like, as soon as Gary said it, then all of a sudden my dad was smart. My poor dad. And it's like, there are certain things that wealthy people do that other people don't do. but is that there are things that wealthy people be that other people are not being. And the most important thing that you have to get is you have to be willing to be somebody who has money, because most people are not willing to be that. Most people want to be average, normal, real, and the same as everybody else. And one of the ways to change that is by asking on a daily basis, what can I be with regards to my financial reality that I have not yet been willing to be? That if I would be it, would bring me everything that I desire and everything greater than what I can even imagine right now. And if you walk through your days asking that question, the way that the molecules of your body vibrate, the way that your being lives in the world changes and becomes greater than it was before you asked that question. And so it's like in Access Consciousness, we talk about what you have as a conclusion. If you have something as a conclusion, you can only have that or something less than it. So all points of view that you have about money, you can only have those points of view or something less than them. And we have a lot of points of view about money. So I'm going to use something called the Access Consciousness Clearing Statement. It goes like this: right and wrong, good and bad, all nine, pod and poc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. And it's a crazy phrase, and it's designed to erase the energies of the things that are limiting you. Basically, your conclusions. I said anything that's a conclusion, you can only have that conclusion or something less than it. So, how many conclusions do you have about what money is? More than 1 million or less than 1 million? Everybody's like, more. And if you're saying less, then you've either done a lot of clearing or you're lying. So everything that is times a godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Cool. You guys looked like it was like a whole bunch of doggies on a dashboard for like 1 second. It was really great. Yeah. Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine, pod and poc, shorts, boys, and beyond. Cherie, did you have your hand up? Or were you just waving? No? Okay. Okay, cool. Hi. If you guys do have questions and you're on camera, you can raise your hand. All right. So there's one of my daughter's friends. Hi, honey. All right. So, let's ask this question. How many points of view and feelings about money are you using to destroy the financial reality you could be choosing? And everything that is times a godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine, pod and poc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. So another thing that we talk about in Access a lot is something called feelings. Mm-hmm. And feelings are something that are made very significant and very valuable and very wonderful in this reality. You have good feelings, you have bad feelings, you're emotional. When my sister and I were little, I just thought of this. I haven't thought of this in years. We had these like fake glasses that looked like a goofy therapist, and we would stock up on each other and surprise each other and put on our glasses and go, "Are you feeling emotional today, or are you feeling non-emotional?" And we were Bobby Joe the therapist. So everything you're doing is to make feelings really important and be Bobby Joe the therapist, the lover of all thoughts, feelings, and emotions. Will you destroy and uncreate it all times a godzillion? Good. Right and wrong. Thanks, Donna. Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine, pod and poc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. And when you're being less than what you actually are, it's very easy to not make as much money as you could be choosing. And when you're being everything that you are, if you're actually vibrationally compatible and making choices in your life that are congruent with you, the infinite being, it's very difficult not to have enough money. It's almost impossible. Let's put it in the impossible category. If you're being everything you are, it's impossible not to create a whole bunch of money. But the reason that we don't allow ourselves to be everything we are, some of it's abuse, some of it is what's it called? Some of it's abuse, and most of it is actually just the choice to be average, normal, real, and the same as everybody else. Gary told, the founder of Access, told this funny story yesterday. He said that he was in New York City. My husband's in New York with Gary right now, actually, and Dane, and a whole bunch of Access people. And they're at the Symphony of Possibilities class that Dane's facilitating. And they, Gary and Dane and the Access staff, some of the very, very, very beautiful blonde women who work for Access, were walking down the street. And Gary was noticing how that when other people were approaching them, their like little Access clan, people would actually avoid them as much as they could. They would physically try to get away from them. And Gary realized how like the joy and the happiness and the physical beauty, it's like that scared people the hell away. It's too much for people to even be present with, even passing them on the street. So how much are you not willing to be that level of beauty? And everything that is times a godzillion will you destroy and uncreate it all. Because you might be all alone if you choose to be everything you are. And everything that is times a godzillion will you destroy and uncreate it all. Right and wrong, good and bad, all 9 pod, pocs, shorts, boys and beyonds. And how many of you are living the IKEA life where you think it's wonderful if it's made out of particle board and it didn't cost you more than $80? And everything that is times a godzillion will you destroy and uncreate it all. Right and wrong, good and bad, all 9 pod, pocs, shorts, boys and beyonds. It's like, Wendy says, my husband does. He loves his IKEA. Even in Australia, they have IKEA, Wendy? Oy vey. It's everywhere. It's a plague of particle board. So, it's not about the money. The choice comes before the money. And it doesn't take any money to start making different choices. It's like you always have even small choices in your life, in your day. You have the choice for what is the perversion from the norm, or that actually pleases you and is what your infinite being would choose, or you as the infinite being would choose. And you have the normal choice in everything. You can parent the normal way, or you can parent in a way that's fabulous and off the wall. You can, what you pick out on the menu when you go out for lunch, it's like there's a choice that's going to work, or there's the normal choice. It's like the more you choose toward the abnormal, the more you choose towards the outrageous, the closer you are to having money. And oh damn, my thought trains leave my brain so quickly. What was I going to say? You have to make yourself interesting to money. That's what I was going to say. It's like, if you are choosing a boring life, if you're not choosing the beauty or the strangeness or the outrageous that actually is pleasing to you, you're making yourself really boring to money. And money is an energy. And so you have to, it's like, if you want to have money, you have to make yourself interesting to money. Shannon O'Hara was talking about this on one of her recent classes. And Shannon O'Hara is freaking brilliant when it comes to money. If you ever get the chance to take a money class with Shannon O'Hara, do it, because she is phenomenal. And she was talking about how, you know, if you make yourself someone that's interesting, somebody that's actually having fun with money, somebody that's creating something different than the norm with money, then more money will come to you. So how many normal choices are you making that are destroying all the pathways that money has towards you? And everything that is times a godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine, pod, poc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Anna says, money loves pleasure, money loves the party, and money loves the orgasmic dance. Indeed, it does. So, how many of you are aggressively avoiding the orgasmic dance of life? And everything that is times a godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine, pod, poc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Shauna, you have your hand up?
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
Yeah, things that were coming up with money was, it seems like it's not enough, and then I can't spend it because I won't have it.
Right. So, is that your point of view?
No. Because as soon as you asked that, it went away.
Took the wind out of your sail.
Yeah. I function as that, though. So I guess it's maybe a way of functioning differently.
Well, how much energy are you using to create that as a feeling?
A lot.
Yeah. So how much energy are you all using to create the feelings of money you are choosing? And everything that is times a godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Yeah. Right and wrong, good and bad, online, pod, poc, shorts, boys, and beyond. Okay. So what you need to run, Shauna, and you personally need to run this 30 times a day for 60 days. The normal prescription is 30 days, but you need 60 because you're a boss. Is what energy, space, and consciousness can my body and I be to have never enough money, but always too much to spend for all eternity? And everything that doesn't allow that times a godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all?
Yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine, pod, poc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. And for those of you who don't understand this sort of clearing method that I'm doing, you can find a full explanation by the co-founder of the Access Consciousness, Dr. Dane here, if you go to theclearingstatement.com. So that's a good place to get that explained. So how's that in your world, Shauna? Better, worse, or the same?
Better.
Oh, phenomenal.
Thanks.
You're welcome. All right. So what energy, space, and consciousness can you and your bodies be to have never enough money, but always too much to spend for all eternity with total ease? And everything that is times a godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine, pod and poc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Yeah. And being normal for you guys is a lot of work. There's not a normal bone in your body. But since it's so hard for you to be normal, you think that there must be something valuable about people who are being normal because they work so hard to do it. Because you could never work that hard to do it. It's natural to them. It's not natural to you. You're just built different. So everything you're doing to make yourself the most normal asshole on planet Earth, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine pod poc shorts, boys and beyonds. And when you're trying to be normal, you really are being an asshole because you're not allowing yourself or the world to become aware of the unique realities that only you know. So you're actually robbing the world when you choose towards the normal rather than the perversion from the norm. Okay, Adele?
So before you mentioned, hi, first of all, so nice to see your face.
You too.
And I'm so excited that I get to be on this call live because normally I'm working in a normal, ordinary job at this time, and power outage, so we got sent home early. So I'm really excited. Yeah, total magic. How does it get better than that? So I'm curious about what you were saying before about abuse being one of the reasons for not choosing money, particularly in validation of being, because that's the sneaky abuse that isn't easy to be like, I was beaten, which sucks. And I was gonna ask it as what do you do when you're not clear on what the abuse was?
Right.
But with all of that,
you don't want to become clear on what the abuse was.
Okay.
You just want to clear abuse.
Okay.
So, how many times have you listened to the abuse CDs?
A lot. Okay. I don't know. I listen to it mostly on, when I'm sleeping.
Right. I recently heard, I took the Fundamentals of Wealth from Craig Lessell, and she said that when she listened to the abuse tapes all night long, but anytime she would listen during the day, she couldn't make out what they were saying. So she committed herself to listening to the abuse CDs. She would lay it down in her bed, and then she would listen until she fell asleep, or listen for an hour out loud. And it really changed her reality. And that's, kind of the next step if you want to actually really hear what Gary's saying. And once you can really hear it, every word clearly, and get in a very deep way exactly what he's saying, then you're probably done listening to it.
So okay.
And then
I'll go back and do more of that.
And then it's living in this reality is an abuse of the being. Making this reality relevant to you in any way is a total abuse of the being. So how much energy are you guys all using to make this reality relevant to you when it's not? And everything that is times a godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine pod poc shorts, boys and beyonds. Yeah. So it's if you, Gary recently said to me, he's like, if you care what anybody thinks about you, you're fucked. And I was like, oh, that's true. and it really is the truth. It's anything that you make relevant about this reality destroys you. And one of the things that I made very relevant about this reality is how much money I could make fresh out of university. It was there's so many points of view about the financial ladder and getting a job and doing things a linear way. And every single day I cleared and I committed, and I read the How to Become Money workbook, and then I read the Advanced How to Become Money workbook, and every single day I spent hours, literally hours, committing myself to destroying and uncreating all that shit, because that especially was a huge thing for me. So how much, hey Adele, I'm sure you've looked at this in different ways before, but who do you mimic most, like, that you grew up around?
I think it's actually a mix between both of my parents.
Okay.
There's like this third entity that I call like the weird amalgamation of my parents.
Read so strongly.
Yeah. It's like they're like complete opposites, and there's like this weird thing between the two of them.
Right.
That thing that makes no sense and doesn't work.
Right.
That.
Right. And do your parents both like crush themselves? Or do they crush others?
I don't know what you mean by that.
Like, I mean like crush as in like put somebody's face in, like if you crush yourself, like judge yourself to the point where you are a little piece of shit on the floor.
They crush others.
Okay. Did they crush you? Yeah. Okay. So everything that is times a godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all?
Yeah.
Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine, pot and pock, shorts, boys, and beyonds. So how much energy are you using to perpetuate the crushing, whether they're around or not?
A lot.
And everything that is times a godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad.
I'm saying yes, but it feels like I can't. Like, I'm really aware that I'm using that word, but
yeah, that's okay. So say that 3 times. It feels like I can't.
It feels like I can't. It feels like I can't. It feels like I can't.
Balls. So everything that is, and all the implants and explants, will you destroy and uncreate that times a godzillion?
Yeah.
Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine, pot and pock, shorts, boys, and beyonds. So how many years is it going to be before you're willing to change this?
2?
You were holding your computer.
Katie Rubin's here.
Hi.
What's up, girl?
Hey, Katie Rubin. You were holding the computer, Adele? Your fingers not like this.
It's my phone. It's my phone. Did I go like this? Did I do that to you?
Yeah, energetically, which is what I wanted to happen.
2 years. 1, 2.
Yeah. So all of the timestamps you've put on when you can actually change and use, will you destroy and uncreate it all?
Absolutely, yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine, pod, pock, shorts, boys, and beyond. So every time you go beyond the normal, do you have to crush yourself to make sure that you don't get too far away from reality?
Yeah, that's exactly what it seems like.
Okay.
That totally matches what shows up. Yes.
Okay, so everywhere you're dedicated to crushing yourself and to all the feelings that ensue after you do it, will you destroy and uncreate it all?
Yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine, pot and pock, shorts, boys, and beyonds. And actually, all the schematics where you get too far happy, too far away from your comfort zone, and then you have one judgment and it goes back and you crush yourself, will you destroy and uncreate it all?
Yep.
Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine, pod, pock, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. That totally matches.
Okay. Cool. All right. How's it get better?
Does it? What else is possible now?
Like, really, how does it get better now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, you're welcome. Lucia?
Yeah, I've been thinking about this thing about not being normal.
Mm-hmm.
I think about that a lot today, and I've never been normal ever, as you know. So
There ain't one normal bone in the Lucia body.
not at all, or in this life. And so, and it's been accompanied with a tremendous amount of judgment and contraction and legitimate fear in some cases. So now I'm,
Wait,
really,
Stop. I have to stop you. What is legitimate fear?
well, it was the stuff that was going on many years back with my parents and their political activities, and they were under persecution.
Okay, so
It was fear.
do you know that, have you done any work with the distractor implants yet?
Yeah, I have.
So what is fear?
It's a distractor implant.
Right. So
Okay.
is it ever legitimate, or is there always a different choice?
Well, there's a different choice. I can imagine. It would be possible not to be afraid. Be a huge stretch in that situation not to be afraid, but it's doable. I mean, it could be possible.
Right. And it wasn't a possibility in their reality.
Correct.
Created it as not a possibility in yours.
Right.
But you have, well, at that, you made a choice to make their reality your reality and legitimize the fear. So would you now be willing to undo that?
Absolutely.
And everything that is times a godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all?
Yes.
I'm going to bet all 9 podpoc shorts will be going. So this is actually brings up something really great, Lucia. It's like, for all of you, it's like everywhere you have decided that there is something legitimate about your fear of being anything but normal, will you destroy and uncreate it all?
Yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, all 9 pod and poc shorts, boys and beyonds. Because there are, I mean, in any situation, there's always a way around it. There's always something else that can be created. Like right now, I'm getting audited. Meh. You've been audited, Lucia.
I have, yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, it's actually not that big of a deal. Like,
Right.
I actually have no point of view about it. I have no problems with it. And even though I lost all of those files, it's like I actually figured out a way to get them all back. So there's no big deal. I have no problems. And if I would have had a point of view about it, then I would have had a legitimate fear of this audit. And even when you're fearing for your life, it's like there's always a way around people. By asking one question, you change the thoughts in 1,000 people's heads. So if you can change the thoughts in 1,000 people's heads by just one question, there is no such thing as legitimate fear.
Yeah. Well,
So,
and they didn't know about that 60 years ago.
No.
It was well, okay. Yeah, I don't want to keep going back to it, but they didn't know that, and I absorbed it as a child. I absorbed that anxiety. So there's that, and then there's the general judgment about being wrong, like I don't fit in, all that has been accompanied with decades of judgment on other people's part, and of course my own. So, and it stops me. I mean, it was what you were just saying to Adele a second ago about one judgment throws you all back, Like I'm moving forward, I'm feeling good, I'm using the tools, things are vastly improving.
Let me ask you this. How many different roles have you defined yourself under? Are you a lesbian? Are you a feminist?
Yes.
Are you gay?
Oh yeah.
Are you a Democrat?
No, I'm not a Democrat. I'm a Green Party member.
Green Party. Okay, cool. So all of those definitions,
right?
You can give money to the Green Party, support that. You can march in the Gay Pride Parade. But it's when you take on that role, then there has to be, because that role has an energy attached to it. If you take it on, then you have to take on a whole slew of other points of view.
Right. Yeah.
So everything that you have added and attached to yourself that makes you have the necessity of fighting based on your roles, will you destroy and uncreate it all?
Yes, I will.
Right and wrong, good and bad, all 9 pod and poc shorts, boys and beyonds.
I can almost feel the structures cracking. Like
Excellent. That's what we're looking for. That's
I know.
exactly
I could actually hear them going. Oh boy, there they go.
How's it going?
I can actually see them going. Just,
Right. I know. They're like, whoa, where they go?
Good.
Woo!
That's awesome. We're getting what we're looking for. Okay.
Woo! Woo! Yeah. All right.
Cool. All right. Daniel, and then Wendy.
so I've done the How to Become Money workbook 20 times. I don't think I said that right. 22 times. And I'm definitely making more money. It seems as though I've lost my mind in the process.
Well, do you require your mind?
Apparently not.
I don't think you need it for anything.
That's all.
You do want to have elegance and be a leader and an authority in the world, though.
Hmm.
So, but you don't have to have a mind in order to be that. So everywhere you have attached having a mind and being the authority that you came here to be, will you destroy and uncreate at all times a godzillion?
Yeah.
Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine, pod, poc, shorts, boys, and beyond. Because Gary, one time I saw Gary, he was licking these Fritos. No, he wasn't licking the Fritos. He was eating the Fritos. And he said, these Fritos are so good because they're so salty. He said, I could just lick the salt off of every single one of these Fritos, but I'm not going to do it. And he's like, because people's judgments of me will affect what I can create in the world. He said, look normal, be strange. So, everywhere you guys are desperately trying to look strange and appear normal, look strange and be normal, will you destroy and uncreate it all because you're not good at either. Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine, pod, poc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. None of y'all are good at looking strange. So, does that help, Daniel?
Yes, I'm okay with not having a mind.
All right, Wendy, what's up? Wendy first, and then we gotta go.
So, I have been looking at this money situation for quite a while, and I just like to talk about it and see what you can pick out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I recognize that I have been very, okay, forget about language. I'm just going to spit it out.
It's okay.
So
I'll shoot you if you say feelings. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, so what happened was I was looking at how my career, my pathway to creating money, looking in the past, how I was always able to end up working with very brilliant people, amazing leaders, and top-notch people or companies in the past. And I never think anything of it, and I will go to one and then drop it, and go to another one and drop it. So now I understand that.
Wait. What was your actual job? I need a little more info.
I've done so many different things,
right.
From photography to working in TV, to script writing, to sales, to insurance, to...
Wow, you are a humanoid of the textbook style humanoid. Okay, cool.
See, I judged myself for years, didn't know that that's humanoid trait.
Yes.
Anyway, so I have been very fortunate because all the people that I work with are really top-notch, brilliant people. Like I work with top photographers or top radio, TV stations and all that. Mm-hmm. And I was able to make money. The thing is, like, money comes and goes. And
so say that 3 times. Money comes and goes.
Money comes and goes, money comes and goes, money comes and goes.
So all the implants and explants creating that crock of shit, will you destroy and uncreate it all?
Yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine pot and pock shorts with neons. It does whatever you tell it to, honey. So if you ask it to come, it's just gonna keep on a coming. There is no reason for it to go. It'll only go if you ask it to go.
Okay. So this is where it's getting strange now. In the last few years, I really consider myself haven't really worked at all.
Mm-hmm.
In the sense, like, I slow everything down.
Did you actually slow down, or did you become aware of how much faster you could be functioning, which made everything seem slow? Don't lie to me. Yeah, okay. So everywhere you misidentified and misapplied, fast is slow and slow is fast, will you destroy and uncreate all that?
Yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine pot and pock shorts, boys and beyonds.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're not living in a very linear, defined reality anymore. Have you acknowledged that?
Not quite.
No. You have to acknowledge it, or else everything that shows up, you're going to kill.
Okay.
You have to acknowledge that you've created a non-linear reality beyond this reality. Not all of it has actualized, but until you acknowledge what you've created, it's not as easy for things to actualize. It'll get really easy once you acknowledge what you've created.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I need some clarification here.
Okay.
So that was what I was going to ask you and didn't know how to put in place is, since the time I so-called stopped working, I call it stop working, I managed to...
And now you started playing instead.
Okay, yeah, so I started playing. Since that time, I'm looking at that time frame, I was able to purchase a home with less than 5% down payment, refinance my home with zero income, actually purchased my home at the time with zero income, and then just recently traveled to Hong Kong, Japan, Bali, England, Shanghai, all these places, and turned down 2 trips to go to Singapore and Australia without spending a penny, without spending a penny of my money.
Okay.
Wow.
Powerless, hey? And slow. Oof, are you slow?
But then I keep looking at it, and there is something there that I recognize is that, wait a minute, maybe I am creating. It's just I'm not making, like, look at it as I make the money to do it. I sort of look at it as like, well, why do I have to buy a house with less than 5% down payment? I know it's like, now I recognize it as, that's amazing.
What you're saying is you've created a whole bunch of amazing things, and now you're judging yourself for them instead of celebrating them.
Yes.
There's no clearing. You're just being stupid.
Okay, so can we get rid of the stupidity?
No, you have to just stop being stupid. That's all I really, there's no clearing that reads. There's nothing we can run. You have to start acknowledging what you're creating and stop being an idiot.
Okay. I'll work on that one.
Okay, good.
Okay, so could it be possible, and I don't know if I'm making it up now, that I'm not motivated by money, that I'm not creating as much as I could?
Well, the thing is that no humanoid is motivated by money. Humanoids are not motivated by money. It doesn't matter to them. No humanoid cares. But there is another space available in which you can create for the joy of it, for the amusement of it. Oh, how much money can I create today? Just for the hell of it. That's not motivation. That's choice. So you have destroyed and changed the place where you needed motivation, and now you can actually have choice instead. And so you have to choose it rather than use something to motivate you. And what you can do, Wendy, and then I have to get to the next question with Shauna here, but what you can do is you can go outside and start to teach yourself to choose. Smell a flower, and then 10 seconds later, make another choice. Get in your car. 10 seconds later, make another choice. Turn on the radio. 10 seconds later, change the song. 10 seconds later, phone a friend. 10 seconds later, and, keep talking to the friend. 10 seconds later, keep talking. 10 seconds later, keep talking. And start choosing in 10-second increments. And you'll start to get a sense of what choice actually is. Because you don't have motivation, you don't have linearity, and you're making yourself wrong. But it's not wrong. You now have the platform from which to springboard into a different reality. But you have to choose it. And you can't make yourself wrong. You have to go, how freaking cool am I? I changed everything, and now what can I choose?
I like that. Thank you. I like
Cool.
that.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. You're welcome. Shauna.
Yeah, hi. I hear like Gary, he said it a couple of times in reference to like, he'll say like, get a job. And like, I don't mind working. I'm just unsure about like what I like to do to get money. And I just keep like choosing different jobs.
Wait. See, you have that your underlying point of view is you have to do to get money.
Mm-hmm.
That's the point of view that's running your life.
Yes.
That is a lie. Okay. You do not do to get money, you be. And the more that you be, the more money wants to come to you. The more you ask, the more money will come to you. And actually, a few months ago, I facilitated Lucia with this very thing. Lucia, how many times a day are you asking for money to show up in your life? And she was on all the telecalls. She was doing all the things. And she's like, I never ask for money to come into my life. And I'm like, well, start asking. Ask every hour on the hour. Money come into my life.
Okay.
And
So
I got my business.
Ask.
Yeah.
You did? Okay, great. There you go.
And you said, Gary said to look normal and be strange, because the judgments would ruin what he could create. And about judgments, isn't
they wouldn't ruin it, but they would change it to something less than what could otherwise be possible. Okay. That's very different, but yeah.
And like, isn't it a practice to kind of receive judgments?
Yeah, it's something you want to work at and practice.
And then just one more question. Could you talk about light and heavy a little bit?
Yeah, so light and heavy is what you become aware of to make choices. So if something has an energy of lightness, it's going to create a greater future, a future with more lightness. If you are aware that something you're going to choose is going to be heavy, or there's a heaviness, when you become aware of that, the energy of that choice, that means that if you choose it, something about that choice is going to be heavy. So that being said, sometimes the heaviness is resistance. So sometimes things will be heavy for me, but I'll choose them anyway. And it'll create a greater future. So really, when in doubt, just choose something. There's never a wrong choice. If you choose the heaviness, It doesn't matter because it's still a choice, and a choice still gets you to greater awareness.
Okay.
Cool. Awesome. All right. Well, this has been a very, very fast 50 minutes. I am so grateful for you guys and for your willingness to show up. Oh, look, there's the girls running the bars. I'm so grateful for your willingness to show up and to be present and to actually create a space in your life to create something greater. But you have to choose it. You have to choose it every single day if you actually would like to create. And the difference between the people who actually create money and the ones who don't are people who make big choices. And actually, I would also like to invite you guys to a class that I'm doing. It's called 30 Days of Committing to Money. It started yesterday, and we've been having a lot of fun. Every day we get together and it's actually on Zoom. It was going to be a Facebook Live, but now it's on Zoom. It's a different venue. But it's a 15-minute class every single day for 30 days to get you into the energy of money and so that you are present with money every day, you don't hide from money, and you clear the limitations that keep you from having money. So what energy space and Diane put the link to that in the chat, and she'll send it in the follow-up email too. So what energy space and consciousness can you and your bodies be to create a financial reality totally beyond this reality with total ease? Oh, excuse me. And everything, we got a lot of yawns on that one. That was like, it was like the wave, but everybody yawned like in a line. And everything that doesn't allow that to show up, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, all 9 pod, poc, shorts, boys and beyonds. The clearings are amazing. The classes are amazing. And the thing that's going to get you there is choice for what is outrageous, choice to be an authority in the world, and choice to create a reality beyond this reality, no matter what it looks like and no matter what it takes. All right. I love you guys. As Dane says on the Bars Call, I hope to meet you in person someday. Bye.
Thank you.